Welcome back to another edition of Food and Wine Pairing with Jen and Andrea. So we're super excited today because, as I said in the last post, HATTAWAY'S on Alder has reopened and they are doing takeout. So we picked some things off their menu. They're not necessarily what we're doing during our food and wine pairings here at the winery, but we wanted to try some of their other things on the menu and see how they did. So today we're going to show you a spinach salad from Hayshaker Farms, which is a local farm. It's got some dried tomato, some homemade croutons, and some lardons with a buttermilk dressing. Yum. And then a smoked salmon tartine with the Hayshaker spinach again, some onion sour cream, some capers, a little beet, and deliciousness.
It's beautiful.
It's
the
so
colors
pretty.
Are outstanding. I mean, I do want to eat it, but I just want to look at it as well.
Right. And then we're gonna spice it up with some Cajun potato chips in the middle that they make fresh there. So
just a little bonus.
The exciting thing too that we're doing is we're pulling out our summer beauty for this tasting. We're just now releasing our 2019 Sauvignon Blanc. It is 100% Sauvignon Blanc this year. We're really excited. JF's planted a little bit more and now the grapes are coming on, so we were able to produce a little bit more than we have in the past because it sells out so fast. JF really likes to have his red wines at sort of a cooler temperature, and then he really likes to serve the Sauvignon Blanc, not room temperature, but close to room temperature. When you have a nice, rich, vibrant white that's a little higher end, sometimes it's nice to serve it a little warmer than you would think to, definitely not refrigerator temperature, because what that does when you have it that cold, say like 40 degrees, it masks all of those beautiful fruit flavors that you get from the Sauvignon Blanc. And then you'll notice as you've had it out of the fridge for longer and maybe in your glass, it really starts to open up. So just think about that the next time you're serving red or white wine. Serve the reds just a tiny bit cooler, and the same with the white, just a little bit cooler than room temperature, we call cellar or cave temperature.
It's still refreshing, I promise.
Exactly. Let's do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dig in. Let's start with the salad. Yum, yum. This smells so good. This Sauvignon Blanc is super fresh. Like I said, it's 100% Sauvignon Blanc this year. Great acidity, really beautiful nose, really expressive. And so great with the acid in the salad, stands up to it. I'm gonna go for the sandwich next, I think, because the chips are spicy. I think I'm gonna do what you suggested and cut a small bite so I don't embarrass myself. Trying to get a little bit of everything. Some beets, some salmon, some spinach, some capers, some bread. Tastes like summer.
It's a perfect pairing. It does the food favors, it does the wine favors. It's a really balanced mouthful.
And it just tastes so fresh. I mean, the sandwich, even though there's a lot of components there, and the bread is toasted, he grills it. It's so light and fresh with those fresh ingredients. Remember the wine?
Yeah.
That is super yummy. I suggest you race down to HATTAWAY'S and get that salmon tartine. Yeah. Amazing. So these are their homemade potato chips that they make in-house. Not gonna lie, we cheated and already had some of these before we started. It got a little kick to them. A little barbecue-y, some heat at the end.
If you were here for the snack video, reminiscent in the spice level to the Santa Fe mix.
Oh yes, the old Santa Fe mix.
The old Santa Fe mix.
Yeah, but it goes nicely with the Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sauvignon Blanc still tastes really fresh.
This makes me want to have the Santa Fe mix with the Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh my gosh, we should have done that.
Well, we'll do it. We'll do it later.
So now we're gonna try these same dishes with the red wines and see how they do, because really, again, like what Andrea and I like to stress in our food and wine pairings when you come visit the winery is that you don't have to have red meat. You can do salads. You just want to make sure there's a fat component to it. You want to make sure your acidity is matching. And then seafood. We love to pair seafood with these wines, especially the Trine. We're gonna go through and taste them again with the same wines that we tasted with you the other day. We're gonna start with our 2016 Trine. So we'll start with the salad here. This buttermilk dressing,
Yeah.
not gonna lie, it's delicious. That spinach is really like thick and rich. It's got kind of a nutty flavor. Really bright fruit, takes away the tannins, and kind of accentuates that nuttiness in the spinach.
Yeah, I would agree.
But still, the wine shows really beautifully with it. I'm gonna try it with the cab now. The salad, the salad. You can really smell the cab. Really pretty aromatics.
Also a really nice
Yeah, again, really pretty. The tannins are almost non-existent with this now because of that fat and the buttermilk and the lardons and the garlic croutons.
I got a little more lardon in this last bite with the cab, and it really
really smooths out those tannins and really allows you to experience the fruit, which is amazing. Okay, last bite. It's gonna be a big one. The grand finale. Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, still really good.
I feel like what I would say that is really interesting about this salad is that it's a wine pairing salad.
Yes, absolutely.
It's really well built, not only just texturally as a dish with, you know, the creaminess and a little bit of sweetness from the tomato and the crunchiness of the, you know, everything that's going on in there, but just the flavor components are really well balanced. And so it goes with these four wildly different wines.
That's the difference between a salad, like we talked about the other day, like a butter lettuce salad with maybe some marinated red onions in it and a champagne vinaigrette. Not a great pairing for these red wines because there's so much acidity there and not much protein or fat. It has that richness to it with the buttermilk and the bacon and the croutons. It sort of emulates the wines, this big, rich boldness that is different. Yeah, different than just a basic green salad. So now we're gonna try the salmon tartine.
As I expected.
Exceptional.
Yeah.
Exceptional. We've known for a long time that the Trine pairs with salmon. It's got a lot of Cab Franc in it. Cab Franc lends itself to earthiness. And obviously salmon is an earthier fish. So we've tried it with cold smoked salmon. We've tried it with cedar plank salmon. We've tried it with lighter fishes like lean cod. But salmon is an exceptional pairing with our Trine. And the richness of the bread and the saltiness of the capers and just the combination is stunning. And then the Trine is beautiful and soft and you get these beautiful fruit flavors. It's, killer.
Now, tartine with Cabernet Sauvignon.
Absolute. Good. Not as good as the Trine.
There's a little more tannin.
Yeah, a little more grit.
There is a little more tannin, but you still do get some of the flavors shining through of the wine. This is really complex, but really delicious together.
So now on to the 2016 Merlot with some salmon tartine.
It's not as expressive as it was with the Trine or the Sauvignon Blanc. It would still finish the glass.
Yeah.
I would still finish the tartine. There's no problem with it.
It brings out this sort of dark complexity and minerality in the wine, but not necessarily the flavors. I get more of a mouthfeel of its richness, but not necessarily the fruit. Whereas with the Trine, it's all fruit and it's all fun and games.
Yeah.
Okay, now just for funsies, let's try these Cajun potato chips with the red wine. Okay, 2016 Trine. Ooh. It's kind of like fireworks in your mouth.
I really pick up on the potatoiness of the potato chip.
Well, and it elevates the Cajun, like I really get a bump in the potato chip flavors, but the wine kind of takes a back seat. And we've talked about that with spice too. The wine and the spice can not interact with each other well. Yeah, they can fight. That's not necessarily what's happening here, but you're getting more of the components of the chip and less of the wine. So let's try with the cab, see what happens. You know what else I'm finding? They don't smell anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Their aromatics, the wine's aromatics disappear when you have such a bold spice flavor.
Yeah, it takes over the palate a little bit.
Yeah, I think we know what's gonna happen, but let's go for it anyway. 2016 Merlot. Still a delicious chip. Better off with a Sauvignon Blanc or maybe even like a Riesling or a really good Pilsner.
I tried to do it a little favor by picking a chip that had less spice on it, but
Still
it still wasn't up to it.
Yeah, so again, it's an interesting discovery that it's just too much spice and too much of an element that's not compatible with these wines.
No, I think this was a really fun pairing because, again, we kind of touched on this all throughout, but the lightness of the Sauvignon Blanc, the brightness, the fruit, all of that is just a really fun player with some of these lighter dishes that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be pairing with your wine. And even the Trine is doing a really good job with those. When you get into the wines that have more tannin and darkness to them, like the Cabernet Sauvignon and the Merlot, not as friendly of a pairing, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have those wines. You just think of a different pairing.
Yeah. What was your favorite?
The Sauvignon Blanc, just because I missed it so, and it went so well with all of these.
I always have to go with the Trine and the salmon. What I love about the Trine and the smoked salmon, I don't typically like smoked salmon, but because of the interaction with the Trine, it elevates not only the wine, it elevates the salmon for me, so I'm able to eat it and enjoy it.
Again, as always, if you have any ideas of what you would like us to try with our wines, let us know in a comment or an email or smoke signal. Maybe not that. We're headed into fire season, but
too dangerous.
Yeah, somehow let us know.
Be creative. Cheers.
Oh, yeah.